Our next presenter is NexTech AR Solutions Corp. Stock symbol is NEXCF. And NexTech and Evan Gappelberg, he's the CEO. They're back for an encore presentation, a follow-up from last month's Next Superstock Conference. NexTech really is one of the leaders in the rapidly growing augmented reality space. It's an industry that's expected to hit 120 billion by 2022. That's what is that, 3 years from now? And the company's growing rapidly. They have some sales that are taking off. They're adding new customers, launching new services and technologies. If you've been following some of their news coming out, so Evan is here to really tell you about some of the new developments since the last presentation, and hopefully he'll show you some really incredible video demos of the technology. So with that being said, please, everybody, welcome Evan Gappelberg.
Thanks, Jack. Can you see me on the screen?
Evan, I see you.
Okay, and you're able to see my screen as well? I just want to make sure that all the text
works. Yes, I see. Okay, I see right now. I see you, and I see your fact sheet on the full screen right now.
Perfect, perfect. So, again, this is just a refresher. We did come on Jack's show back in August, and there's been some updates since then. What we were noticing in the augmented reality marketplace, and just to give a little context to it, we look at this as a multi-decade, multi-trillion-dollar mega trend that's unfolding in the early days. Today, the industry's 20 billion, and it's going to be worth many trillions over the next decade. The whole world is now transforming into a 3D spatial computing world, and we see augmented reality as a technology that's part of the spatial computing transformation, and it's now transcending the demo stage, which is really where it's been for the last 5 or 10 years, and becoming a vital part of our today's product and retail strategies. We see a race emerging right now as we speak, where all the big tech companies, Samsung, Apple, Snap, Microsoft, they're all racing to bring products to market that allow consumers to interact with 3D objects, which is what NexTech is sitting right in front of, which is a tidal wave of development. So if you look at NexTech, we're the first publicly traded pure play company on the marketplace. We have a first mover advantage. We have a web-enabled full funnel platform called Ourties. That's our e-commerce platform. It also works as a training platform. And we recently just launched our AR Studio, which we'll go into a little further in a few minutes. If you look at Ourties, it's really a disruptive and transformational platform. It's patent pending, so we do have some proprietary tech there that we think is very valuable, and it allows us to produce web AR, in other words, no app required, which is hugely valuable because who wants to download another app? We also have brand ambassador or holograms, which is again something very unique. Very few companies have mastered that. Sentiment analysis and AI. And what's happening for our early adopters or subscribers is that we're seeing up to 400% increases in conversions. So shoppers that are shopping using augmented reality, using NexTech's tools, are converting into buyers, and it's a significant conversion rate. It's not insignificant when you see a 400% increase. It moves the needle, and it gets all retailers really interested in our technology. We're expecting to be entering a hyper-growth state in 2020. 2019 was really the year where we just started to go to market with our technology, and we started to sign up customers. We're now getting some data and analytics, which I'll share with you guys in a few minutes. And the industry is really starting to take hold and grow. Our technology is plug and play. works on millions of e-commerce websites because it's web enabled, and it's just a simple line of embed code that you cut and paste onto your website. We're integrated with Shopify, Magento, and WordPress, which means that our platform is built for scale and mass adoption, which is really what needs to happen when you come to market as a technology company. We've already worked with some major accounts like Budweiser and continue to go after those big accounts. If you look at our revenue base, it's recurring revenue.
Evan, I'm sorry to interrupt. We're still on your fact sheet. Are you showing the slides?
No, I'm just going through the fact sheet.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt. The screen is yours.
Yeah. So, recurring revenue on our SaaS platform, those are our subscribers to our Ourties platform. They continue to, pay us month over month over month, and over time that becomes a significant business for us. We also have our e-commerce business, 2 wholly owned subsidiaries enhanced with AR capabilities. We've added some really highly skilled management around those businesses, around those acquisitions, and they're starting to scale and show results. So NexTech's poised for success as widespread adoption of AR really takes hold in the marketplace. We're targeting 10 times revenue growth for calendar year 2020, gross margin expansion, cash flow positive in this fourth quarter, 6 new products launches. If you look at the wearables market and you look at the industry, and these charts speak volume, you could see the worldwide mixed reality market size just exploding from 2018 to 2022. So it's basically, we're in the very beginning stages of that mass adoption as 5G installation kicks in, which is, again, started already, but it's going to accelerate in 2020 and 2021. It's going to push AR into the mainstream in a very rapid way. And it's all going to happen with wearables. You're going to see consumer wearables start to hit the market. Again, Google, Microsoft, Apple, Samsung, and Snap are all competing. If you look at Snap, they just announced 2 weeks ago that they're going to launch a pair of AR glasses. I mean, Snap is probably the leader in the AR space with over 130 million daily active AR users, which is a lot. Magic Leap has raised the most money. They've raised $2.6 billion. In comparison to NexTech, we've raised about 8 million since we've been public. They've gone through 7 rounds. We've done 3 rounds. Magic Leap has about 180 million in revenue, and they have over a $5 billion valuation. Microsoft has the HoloLens, which is their kind of industrial B2B heads-up display, and they won a massive contract with the U.S. military. Apple's expecting to ignite the industry with their AR glasses launch in 2020. And just yesterday, as a matter of fact, Amazon entered the fray, and they now are coming to market with a pair of AR glasses, which just shows you that everybody, every major tech company on the planet wants to be in the AR space, which is where NexTech currently lives and breathes. If you look at our management team, you've listened, I'm assuming, to me before. I'm very comfortable in these hyper growth startup companies. My last exit, investors saw 20 times their investment, which happened in 18 months. Paul is the creator of the human hologram. Ruben came from Shutterstock. Scott came from Acclaim. And, we recently added Barry Sandrew, who's a visual effects pioneer and serial entrepreneur. Our advisory board, I'm not going to go through them, but they're all senior thought leaders in the AR industry. If you look at the number of shares outstanding, we have about 56 million shares outstanding. Our market cap is tiny, 37 million. That's Canadian. If you look at insider ownership, it's massive with over 30%. I'm a large shareholder, the largest shareholder. In summary, NexTech is a rapidly growing AR technology company. We're targeting 3 multi-billion-dollar verticals in the AR industry, and they all drive their revenue off of our omni-channel platform called Ourties. Barry Sandrew, I think it's good to speak about Barry for a minute because we just announced that he joined us full-time to launch our AR studio. You know, the guy's track record is pretty substantial. He knows everybody in Hollywood, and he's producing immersive augmented reality content for a proprietary location-based entertainment platform that we're calling Presence. He's a serial entrepreneur, and he's somebody that we're betting big on to bring value to NexTech's AR studio. If you look at our new website, which we just launched, the self-serve platform, it's a major new piece of technology. We just announced it on Tuesday. It's a website that was created for brands and companies to curate immersive white label experiences for selling, teaching, and sharing using augmented reality. You create a digital twin of pretty much anything using a smartphone, a scanner, 3D modeling, software like Maya, Cinema 4D, or 3D Studio Max. All you need is a GLTF file, which is the industry standard 3D file to ARtize your business. So you load the file onto our website, and like magic, you now have AR onto your website. Nobody has ever done that before. It really is a game changer for the industry, and I'm going to show you a little bit about what's happening there in a minute. If you look at our revenue, again, you know, we seek safe harbor. These are forecasts, except for August. In August, we did about 300,000 in revenue. September, we're looking to increase that by 33% to 400,000. In October, we think we're going to pop with a 50% increase in revenue to 600. In November, we're estimating 800,000 in revenue. Those are all US dollars. And we see that continuing into 2020. And it's, you know, a series of reasons why that's happening. Some of it has to do with our recent new client wins. So, you know, just a small sampling, we just announced Challenger Motor Freight, which, you know, they have over 1,500 trucks and 3,300 trailers. So, you know, each one of those trucks is $250,000. They're a couple $100 million private company with over 2,000 employees, and they've hired NexTech to create an augmented reality recruitment experience using our hologram technology. Gunworks, leading online supplier of high-end custom shooting systems, they've hired NexTech to bring the customer experience closer to home so that people can shop online and see what they're buying. Alpine Innovative Research, which is an air purification company for the cannabis industry, has hired NexTech to create a 3D virtual cannabis grow room, as well as a 3D demo of their air purification system. LA Police Gear, which is a major source of gear for obviously LA Police. They've hired NexTech to ARtize 9 products. So you can see that our business is starting to take off. I'm going to switch screens and take you to another screen, which kind of gives you a little bit of an indication of what's happening with our customers. So this is a little bit of an analytics dashboard, which shows you the Wright Brothers. The Wright Brothers is one of our subscribers. They're one of our customers. You could see that when the AR went live on their site, you see the big spike in activity. And so you see 123 total button views. That's the AR button. 48 total 3D AR views. And you had a 39% click-through rate. That means 39% of the people that saw that button click through, which is significant. If you look at Walther Arms, that's another customer of ours. They've been live for a lot longer, you could see. And so the numbers are pretty significant. Over almost 5,000 button views, 660 3D AR views, and a 13% click-through rate. Typical click-through rates in the industry are 2 to 4%. So to be seeing 13% or 40% is off the charts for the industry, and it's why you're seeing AR adoption accelerate. This is our Ourties page on our website, which speaks about the defense industry. It's kind of a landing page for the defense industry, and it kind of gives you an idea of how we interact with new clients. We bring them to a landing page. We show them this. You can see the gun starting to turn as a 3D model. That's not AR, that's 3D, but it's kind of a close cousin. So we've created a digital twin, and in the world of firearms, that's pretty significant, where you can bring the object into a person's living room. And the defense industry subscribers are experiencing a boost in conversions, and that's really what they're after. If you look at this is a screen which talks to the AR for education. She would be a hologram, and those objects would be floating around her as 3D objects, and you see kind of the call outs, built to last, grips, coil spring. Again, this is kind of a behind the scenes look at what NexTech does and how we interact with customers. So, here's a custom lesson pack and a white label app that we're working on for Walther Arms, which is a significant customer of ours. And you can kind of see how the app populates with more and more content, and all that content is viewable as AR. So, here's our pricing model. And again, it's a subscriber-based model. So, you get a free embed code to kind of get you started, one free for 30 days, then it moves to $30 per month per SKU. So if you have 10 SKUs, which is about the average that people start with, it's $300 per month. And, we see that going up as the results start to show up on the website. If you look at the Ourties app, that's the training. It starts at $99 a month and goes up from there. If you look at the university, it starts at $250 a month and goes up from there. And you get more services as you continue to go up. So, that's kind of the view from 30,000 feet. I mean, this is our Ourties website. You could see it's here, the world's first self-serve augmented reality platform. It's really the biggest deal, the biggest thing that we've done as a public company is launch this Ourties website, where you could use it to enter the world of AR without having to be a programmer, without having to download an app. And so, there's a lot of content here. I'm not going to go through the whole site. I really wanted to just give you guys a quick update on what's happening at NexTech, and then open it up to any questions you guys might have.
Okay, so Evan, are you ready for some questions now?
I am.
Okay, perfect. So let's see, we have a question just came in from Grant. Grant is asking, what are current revenues, Q4 forecast, run rate, and break even?
So I just showed you guys. Thank you, Grant, by the way, for the question. So October, November, December, we're estimating 600, 800, and 800,000. So over 2 million in revenue for the fourth quarter alone is what we're estimating. So fourth quarter for us, we're estimating to be a very big quarter.
Okay, here we go. So now we have, just see. Okay, so we have some questions that came in from last night and this morning before the event. Don is asking, do you believe AR glasses will help the company?
100%. Currently, everybody has a phone that they use to view AR. I mean, everybody's phone as long as you have an iPhone 6 or better, has the ability to view AR. But when you have the ability to view it hands-free, takes it to a whole nother experience. And that's really something that's going to ignite the industry where currently people like using their phone, but I feel like people are going to love having a hands-free pair of glasses and having AR objects in their line of sight every which way that they look. I do see that as something that's going to help NexTech dramatically, because we create the product, the 3D object that you're viewing in those glasses. That experience is what NexTech creates.
Okay, another question. Okay, what is the end game for this company? Be sold, become a billion-dollar company, have a major partner like DreamWorks? That's Donnie is asking that question.
Yeah, thanks, Donnie. So currently, it's the early days for augmented reality. We see our current market cap is very low and kind of indicative of the fact that there aren't that many people that are currently in the AR industry as public companies. We feel that because we're a public company, we don't want to sell too soon, right? We're able to raise money by using our currency, which is our stock. And so the goal for NexTech is really to build our business and achieve $1 billion valuation as a public company. That's kind of the near-term goal. Beyond that, who knows?
Okay. Oh, now we have a follow-up question from Grant. Grant is asking, okay, at 2.2 million forecast for Q4 19, can we expect 10 million 2020 revenues? And also he's got a question about what's the break even?
Yeah. So as far as 2020, we're anticipating more than 10 million in revenue in 2020. I think in 2020, we're estimating, and again, these are forward-looking statements, but we're estimating in excess of 15 million in revenue for 2020 calendar year. That means January of 2020 till December.
Okay. Larry is asking, is Amazon doing anything in AR, and are they a threat?
Hey, Larry, thanks for the question. 100% yes, they are doing a lot in AR, and no, they are not a threat. In fact, they reached out to us, and we've met with Amazon. Amazon is a walled garden, so you have roughly 50% of e-commerce happening on the Amazon website. And then you have the other 50% that happens off the Amazon website on Shopify, Magento, WordPress, BigCommerce, et cetera, et cetera. We are not selling to the Amazon website. Our technology is geared for everybody else. So that leaves 50% of, a $10 trillion industry.
Okay. Corey is asking, where do you see your business in 5 years regarding earnings and technology innovation?
So it's hard to predict 1 year out, let alone 5 years out, Corey. But our goal is to continue to scale our business and have the kind of hyper growth that you see in new emerging technologies, where every year we would anticipate at least 100% growth year over year in the early days, meaning for us that's over the next 3 to 5 years. And what was the second part of the question, Jack?
Okay, so he asks, where do you see your business in 5 years regarding earnings and technology innovation?
So technology innovation, again, 5 years out, very difficult to predict, but we see everything that we're building today just becoming better and better and more immersive and getting into the woven into the fabric of everybody's lives, where you literally will interact with augmented reality when you wake up in the morning. Your clock will likely be an AR version of your clock. As you get out of bed and you move around your house, you'll interact with AR. You get to work, you might put on a pair of AR glasses, and again, you're interacting with AR. And you go home, you might watch your favorite movie in AR, where you're literally watching the actors in your living room as fully volumetric holograms. Instead of looking at them on a 2D screen, it would be a 3D interactive experience. So all of that is coming over the next 5 years or so.
Okay, anybody else? If anybody else has any questions, last chance to ask. Yeah, Evan, I have a question for you.
Sure, Jack.
Do you have any demos that you could show, any video that you could show of, for example, some of the e-commerce applications, kind of like you had last time with that shoe demo? Because when I saw that, I said, wow, this is like really a game changer for e-commerce once you can see this happening on your phone and these conversion rates that you're getting.
Yeah, on my computer, it's hard to demo, AR. It's not really built for that. So, it's really, primarily something you would want to see on your phone. Let me see if I can pull up.
We'll
So
definitely have to do that next time. We'll have to have you show it on your phone.
Yeah, you say it says view in 3D, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's loading the 3D object. There it is. So this is a Zoltan David ring that we created for him, and you could see, the intricacies of his design. You could really see the quality of. Hold on a second. Let me just see if I can. Yeah. There. Can you see that, Jack?
Oh yeah, no, I see it. So this is how it looks, on a desktop. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. Okay, so basically you could see that on a desktop or a phone, for any 3D product.
Yeah, so we created this for Zoltan David. Again, this is a 3D image, and then on the phone, you'd be able to see this as an AR object.
And you could see it on your hand, basically, on your finger, I should say.
Yeah, you could overlay it over your finger. Yeah.
That's the part I think is the real game changer.
Yeah, being able to try it on. But
Yes.
you could see, I mean, it's a lot more immersive to be able to see this ring in 3D than it is to look at it as a 2D, flat kind of image, right? I mean, the alternative to this is, kind of what everybody else has, and that's 2D images. And let me just see. So, if you look at any one of these, that's a nice picture, but that does nothing for you, right? Like this is the alternative, very flat, right?
That's the basic JPEG, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so what I was showing you was a 3D model that we created for Zoltan.
Do you have a 3D of this one, of this necklace?
Not that one, because we typically start with a few items, and then over time, as they see the results, they do more and more. This is another one of our customers. You see, it says view in 3D.
Hasn't. No, hasn't. That hasn't loaded yet. I just see the. Okay, here we go. View in 3D. It's a grill.
Yeah, it's a grill.
Okay.
This is Mr. Steak, loading the 3D model. There it is.
So your customers are really all across the board, from jewelry to to grills, guns, everything. Anybody
Exactly.
can benefit.
That's exactly right, Jack. And so, again, this is more of, getting a product view online and making sure it is what you
Oh,
think
wow.
it is, right? You're getting up close to it. But if you want to actually see it, let's say this barbecue, if you wanted to see it on your deck in your backyard, then you take out your phone, do the same thing I just did, go to the Mr. Steak website and put the grill on your deck. And now you're able to see it and make sure it either fits or you like the design, the look, or what have you. And it gets really, really exciting as you go through more and more use cases.
Yeah, this kind of tried on, as you call this, tried on, ability really can make a huge difference, for e-commerce. So we have another question that just came in. Is it Wilson or Wilson? I believe is the first name. Okay, so Wilson is asking, are you currently working with Snap on integration into their platform?
We are not. So Snap is a technology company, and they have a full team of AR, developers and engineers, and they're creating, 90% of their own tech. They do sometimes go outside for some help, when somebody creates something really special, really proprietary, but Snap in general either creates their own or they just acquire businesses that they think can add value to their platform. But no, so we're not working with Snap.
Evan, I got a question for you. I think we were talking about, your experience with Take-Two and kind of with the, with the emergence of, what I might consider, the modern day, video game industry. Can you kind of, see what are the parallels and you, I think you've been, you've gotten on board some, major trends very early. Can you kind of maybe give us some examples of what do you see as the commonalities, the parallels, let's say, between, that industry where AR is now, and some of those things? Because it seems to me it's a huge thing, but still, not everybody's talking about it. It's not like people were talking about, the internet in 1999 or cannabis, now.
Right, right. Yeah. So I have been involved in a lot of multi-trillion-dollar mega trends. I did get involved in the internet back in the 1990s and participated, when eBay went public and when Amazon went public. And I am a student of the market and and of business in general. So when you look at Take-Two Interactive Software, that's a company that I took public in the 1990s. And when we took it public, it was Christopher Walken, and he was the star talent that kind of got people to use their game, to watch their game. It was this idea that you would see an actual movie scene in a video game, which at that time was very novel and unique, with like a real actor. And so Take-Two was, just a startup. And what ended up happening was the video game industry transformed into something much bigger than anybody imagined. And by being there early, by getting in when the stock was $5 a share, that's what we took it public at. It had roughly a $30 million market cap. Today, Take-Two is a $10 billion public company, and investors made many multiples on their money. And so I always look for opportunities. The cannabis space is another industry. That's where I saw 20x, where I got involved in cannabis in 2013 when it was Tweed and a few other publicly traded cannabis companies. I just knew that cannabis was going to be the next big thing. And in 2016, I was able to take a company public and bring in the seed capital. And by 2018, we saw 20 times our money. And what I did was take that and roll it into NexTech. I mean, that's what's really happened here, is that, you know, I identified augmented reality as the next big thing. And NexTech is the public company that is ushering in augmented reality into the investment community, meaning people in tech land are already aware of augmented reality. They're acquiring small startup companies in the space, but the general public has not gotten involved in augmented reality stocks for a couple of reasons. One is there's none to buy. NexTech is the only pure play, small cap, augmented reality company. Period, the end. If you want to buy augmented reality, there aren't many options. So if you want to invest, you could invest in Microsoft or Snap, you can invest in Google, you can invest in Apple, but they have other businesses that are much bigger than their augmented reality business. And so you're not going to see the needle move much, even if augmented reality becomes a big thing in 2020 and 2021, which I believe it will. If you invest in Apple or Amazon or any of these other big public companies, it's not going to mean much to them. On the other hand, if you invest in NexTech, which is where I'm invested, and augmented reality starts to explode like I think it will, and everybody starts looking for an investment in augmented reality, which I think is going to happen in 2020, 2021, we will be front and center, and our stock will ignite, in my opinion. So that's kind of how I look at this. I see this as, you know, an opportunity to really get in on the ground floor of the next big thing in technology. And you don't have to believe me. Amazon just announced that they're launching a pair of AR glasses. Amazon has 100 full-time 3D modelers on staff that are turning their products into 3D AR shoppable products. IKEA just announced that they're expanding their AR platform so that you could create rooms, not just create AR, not just place a couch or a chair into your room, but actually create a whole room as if you have like a whole interior designer working for you. So, you know, the technology is real, the industry is emerging, and NexTech is the only pure play. And so, you know, as I've said repeatedly, I've put over $2 million of my money into NexTech, and I continue to invest. And obviously, I see this as something that's going to make investors a lot of money over the coming years.
Okay, Evan, I think I saw just one last question just came in. Let's see. Okay, so David is asking, when are your next financials coming, and what guidance can you give?
Yeah, it's a good question. So we're currently under audit right now, and so that should be released shortly.
Okay, I guess that's it. That's it for the questions. We had some good questions. Evan, thank you again, and you know, kind of you know, your idea of what the opportunities are for the stock as this AR theme takes off is you know, it's something that I think investors should definitely pay attention to, because you know, in my opinion, AR is, you know, again, one of these kind of sleeper themes where kind of just like where the internet was, you know, in, I don't know, 96, right before it took
Yep.
off, or cannabis was, you know, 7 years ago. I remember people were starting to, you know, develop cannabis companies. So anyway, Evan, again, thank you, and we'll follow up with you in probably next month.
Excellent. Thank you, Jack. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
all the
everybody in
great
our
questions.
audience.
Yep.